Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Dr. Cammy Goes Keto, where I'm working on transitioning from the standard American diet to a ketogenic diet, low carb diet. Currently, no sugar, no flour, and no caffeine. I've done that for almost 2 months, and I've been over 2 months without a binge, which I normally couldn't go for 2 to 3 weeks. This is because of multiple different things being in place, including the use of a GLP-1. I'm on Zepbound right now, and I'm very pleased with my progress. I'm down 10 pounds and slowly working on my 100-pound goal. So that's my first 10 pounds. So you got to start somewhere, right? So today I wanted to just talk real briefly about one day at a time mentality and how important that is for people who are addicts. So if you find that you are addicted to certain things, certain activities, certain chemicals, like for me, it was sugar. And the way that I knew I was addicted was I had tried multiple times to get off of it or to control it in a certain way and been unable to do so, realizing that complete and total abstinence was the way to go, which is strongly what Mike Collins recommends in his sugar detox facility, his website. And his philosophy, which I agree with completely, is that if you really are truly addicted to it, you need to stop it completely. About a third of us will be completely addicted. A third of us will be harmful users, and about a third of us will be able to eat sugar in moderation and not have any problems with it. But I had tried multiple times to control and manage my sugar, and that didn't work. So in any case, the mentality of taking it one day at a time is what is helping me get through this 90-day challenge that I and that I initially made is the word I'm looking for, and that I'm going now on to thinking that it's probably better that I go more than 90 days and making a year commitment and gamifying it, as my life coach Kai says, and making it into a reward system so that when I'm 6 months out, right around the end of March or beginning of April, I'm going to be going to the Glen Ivy Spa and spending a day there at the mineral water springs and the mud bath and get a massage and go into the grotto where they paint you with these essential oils and a mask, and you go and sit in the cave and soak it into your skin and all this fun stuff. I'm going to be doing that for my 6-month check-in and celebration. So looking forward to things and getting a little overwhelmed when I think about going that long without sugar, flour, or caffeine, but realizing that for me today, that's all I have to do is make the choice today to not imbibe in those chemicals, which alter my body and keep me ill and unhealthy. The reason why I'm off the caffeine is because the caffeine I have been figuring out helps stimulate my cravings for sugar. And for 8 months, I had been, trying to get off of it, doing it, not doing it, doing it, not doing it, thinking that I didn't have any problems with it. And then once I made the commitment to really go full force and abstinent from all three things, that's when I was able to have some success, along with the help of my GLP-1 agonist. So it's hard to think about one day at a time because logistically you do have to plan for things, right? You have to plan for events. You have to do your food for the week. You have to be sure that you have groceries in the house and foods that you can eat. So it does require some planning. And so that's where the delicate balance comes in between making your plans and logistically making it so that you can go one day at a time and have some success with that. The way that I have found that it helps me the most is when I do what I call a step 10 inventory at the end of my day. And I sit down with a journal and my food plan, and I write down if I haven't followed completely the food plan that I had written, which when I'm a good girl, I write a food plan and I stick to it. Sometimes I write a food plan and I make some alterations, and sometimes I don't write a food plan. I've been getting lazy with that in the last few days. So I get my food straight, what I did and didn't eat. And then I write down, I have a little journal that helps me figure out like what my feelings for the day were, what my thoughts for the day were, what my behavior for the day was. And that has these little check marks that I can check. Did I do prayer and meditation? Did I exercise? Did I help a friend or help someone out? Did I call somebody? Those are the little ones that I check off. And then it has a little box where it says, I am grateful today for, and you write down what you're grateful for. And then you write, today I was able to do one thing that you were able to do that was maybe difficult or something you weren't sure if you could get done. And then it has some room there where I journal, just kind of how I felt for the day. And then you ask if there's anybody if there's any resentment. Was I selfish? Was I resentful? Was I dishonest? Was I afraid? And so you write those things down. And sometimes I'm afraid, like I have a lot of fear in my life. I kind of walk around all the time feeling unsafe. And it goes back to as long as I can remember. So I write down situations where I felt safe or I felt unsafe. And in the process of doing all that, it helps me stay in the present moment. It helps me stay in the day. And so I have really found that taking the time to do that, which I normally am successful if I do it early, like at 8:30 or 9 o'clock at the latest at night, because I go to bed early. I go to bed at like 9:30. I get up at 5:30. And so if I wait till I'm too tired, then I don't get it done. But if I do it early enough in the day, it allows for me some time for reflection and some time I have found for thinking of the things that I did right. It's really been helpful in helping me look at things that are going well for me because I'm so hard on myself and I'm good at sitting down and remembering all the places where I screwed things up. But writing it down really allows me to take the time to look at the things that I'm doing right during that day. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of a few suggestions that you can do to stay in the now, to stay present, to take it one day at a time. And then as you're able to do that, the days will slowly start to stack up on each other. And before you know it, you'll have a couple of months of being abstinent from sugar, flour, and caffeine. And I'm looking forward to more days in the future. I weigh in this Saturday, so I'm hoping that things will look good there too. The weight has been the last thing to come off, and so I need to be really patient with that. I'm getting everything else in order to have myself be successful in my food and learning how to have a healthy relationship with food has all come before the weight loss. All right, everybody, take care. Have a good evening. We'll talk to you later. Bye.